Welcome to the online lecture on hypersensitivity reactions. In this lecture, I would like to discuss about what is meant by hypersensitivity and what are the different types of hypersensitivity reactions, their mechanism and their examples. Okay, we will go with the topic hypersensitivity reactions. Before going to the topic, first we will discuss about what is meant by hypersensitivity. Hypersensitivity is defined as it is an abnormal immune response. Okay, this is an abnormally if occurs the immune response which produces physiological or histopathological damage in the host. Okay, this is the hypersensitivity reactions which is produced normally. It is an abnormal immune response which is produced because of the physiological or histopathological damage in the host. If physiological damage occurs or histopathologically, because of the pathological conditions, if damage occurs to the tissues, that is about the histopathological damage, if occurs in the host, then it is known as the hypersensitivity. Hypersensitivity, abnormally if immune response occurs, okay, because of the pathological damage or because of the physiological damage, it is defined as the hypersensitivity. And these hypersensitivity reactions have been classified based on the time required for a sensitized host to develop clinical reactions on re-exposure to the antigen. Suppose if this is an antigen, if it was exposed by a person, suppose this is the person, if this person exposed to this antigen, immediately hypersensitivity reactions may not occur. If the same person exposures to the antigen, suppose these are about the antigens, if he exposes to this second time, the second or the re-exposure to the antigen, then the person feels the hypersensitivity reactions. They can be classified based on the time required. Okay, immediately if the person exposes to these antigens, immediately the hypersensitivity reactions may not occur in the host. It takes some time. Okay, hypersensitivity reactions are of different types. All the hypersensitivity reactions may not require the same time. Okay, they are classified based on the time required for a sensitized host to develop clinical reactions. Okay, whatever the reaction that was happened, if it to show the reactions by the sensitized host, how much time it requires, that is vary from one hypersensitivity reactions to the other hypersensitivity reactions. Therefore, we can classify based on the time required for a sensitized host, we can classify the hypersensitivity reactions of two types. The first one is about the immediate type and the second one is about the delayed type. Immediate type means immediately the person feels the, upon the re-exposure to the antigen, then immediately the person will feel the clinical symptoms. If the symptoms are about the clinical reactions, if occurs immediately, we can say that that type of hypersensitivity reactions are known as immediate type of hypersensitivity reactions. Suppose if the hypersensitivity reactions, if requires or if it takes some more time to show the clinical reactions, then we can call that type of hypersensitivity reactions are known as the delayed type. Therefore, we can classify the hypersensitivity reactions into two types. They are about the immediate hypersensitivity reactions and next one is about the delayed. Okay, based on the time required for a sensitized host to develop the clinical reactions. Remind one thing that the re-exposure to the antigen, for the first time if they are exposed to the antigen, it do not causes the hypersensitivity reactions. For the second time, what about the re-exposure, then only the hypersensitivity reactions will be occurs. Okay, they are of two types, immediate type and the delayed type. Coming to the classification of hypersensitivity reactions. Hypersensitivity reactions are classified into 5 types. The first one is about the type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 and type 5. These are about the totally 5 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, they are named as type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4 and type 5. If you are going with the type 1, This type 1 is also known as, okay, these are the below columns or the below rows are representing the synonyms for the type reactions. If you look at the first one, type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, type 1 hypersensitivity reaction is also known as anaphylactic or immediate. That means as it is showing the immediate reaction. And what type of clinical reaction it is showing? It is showing anaphylaxis. Hence it is known as anaphylactic. As it is showing, okay, in the previous slide, as I described that they are of based on their time, they are classified into immediate and delayed. Therefore, type 1 comes under the immediate type. Therefore, type 1 is also known as the immediate hypersensitivity reaction. As it is mediated by the immunoglobulin E, therefore it is also known as IgE hypersensitivity reaction, and it is also known as the reagent dependent, okay, as it depends on the reagent, okay. These are the various synonyms for the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Then we are going for the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. The type 2 hypersensitivity reaction is also known as cytotoxic or also known as the cell stimulating. Cytotoxic, because of this type 2, cyto means cell, toxic means toxic substances or the toxic substances which causes the toxic to the cell, okay, or it is also known as the cell stimulating. It is stimulating something. Okay, this is these two are the synonyms for the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. Next one is about the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. It is also known as the immunocomplex or also known as the toxic complex. As it is forming certain immunocomplex, hence it is also known as immunocomplex hypersensitivity reaction, and it is forming some toxic complex, hence it is also known as the toxic complex hypersensitivity reaction. Coming to the type 4 HS reaction, the type 4 is also known as the delayed. If you look at the previous slide, as we discussed, the hypersensitivity reactions based on the time required, they are of immediate and delayed. Out of all these 5, we can see the type 4 is known as the delayed one because it requires some time or more time is required to show the chemical reactions on the body. Therefore, it is also known as the delayed hypersensitivity reaction. As the type 4 is mediated by the T lymphocytes, hence it is known as the T cell mediated hypersensitivity. Okay, type 4 is also known as the delayed hypersensitivity reaction or also known as the T cell mediated. Coming to the type 5. Type 5 is also known as the stimulatory or anti-receptor. Okay, it stimulates something. Okay, and it is also known as the anti-receptor. Okay, these are the various synonyms for the 5 types of hypersensitivity reactions. Then we will look at a glance with the different types of hypersensitivity reactions with their chemical reactions, what type of reactions they are causing. If you look at the first one, type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, it causes the anaphylaxis and atopy. Whereas the type 2, it causes the thrombocytopenia and hemolytic anemia. Okay, in the introduction, we discussed that, okay, the hypersensitivity reactions, they are causing certain chemical reactions. What type of chemical reactions they are causing? If it is a type 1, they causes the anaphylaxis and atopy. Whereas the type 2, they causes the thrombocytopenia and hemolytic anemia. Whereas the type 3, it causes the Arthus reaction. Arthus reaction is also known as the end also causes the serum sickness. Okay, these are the 2 types of reactions that is caused by the type 3. Whereas the type 4, okay, the type 4, it causes the tuberculin type and contact dermatitis. Okay, these are the 2 types of reactions that are caused because of the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Whereas coming to the type 5, the type 5, it causes the autoimmune orchitis in the guinea pigs. Okay, these are the various chemical reactions taking place. Other than this, we will go in detail with the one by one type of reactions, type of hypersensitivity reactions. First, we will go with the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Out of all these 5 types of hypersensitivity reactions, if you look at type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 5. That means type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 5. Okay, these 4, out of these 5, these 4, 1, 2, 3 and 5, they depend on the interaction of the antigen with the humoral antibodies. Okay, and immediately as they are forming their chemical reactions, they are known as the immediate type of reactions. Whereas As we discussed, the type 4 is also known as the delayed one because it requires some time to show the chemical reaction, and these are mediated by the T lymphocytes. Okay, then we will go with the first type of hypersensitivity known as the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. It is also known as immediate hypersensitivity, or also known as it is causing anaphylaxis, hence it is known as the anaphylactic hypersensitivity. Okay, as it is it is showing immediate response, hence it is known as the immediate hypersensitivity. Because of the speed with which the immunological reactions takes place, which may culminate into anaphylaxis within minutes. Within minutes, we can observe the type of reaction following antigen challenge. And the antibodies are fixed on the surface of the tissue cells. This is the principle involved in the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. The principle is about the antibodies are fixed on the surface of the tissue cells. What type of tissue cells? They are about either the mast cells and the basophils in the sensitized individuals. The sensitized host, the antibodies get fixed. Okay, the antibodies are fixed onto this. Suppose these are about the mast cells. Okay, suppose this is about the mast cell, or also known as the basophil cells. Upon the surface of these tissue cells, the antibodies, okay, this is about the antibody get fixed onto the surface. Okay, see, this is the antibody get fixed onto the surface of the mast cells or about the basophil cells in the sensitized host. The antigen combines with the cell-fixed antibody loading to release the pharmacologically active substance. See, first we are saying that this is about the mast cell or basophil cells. To this, on the surface, the antibody attaches. Okay, antibody attaches. The antibodies attaches to the mast cells of the basophil cells in such a manner that antigen binding site should be the free. Okay, and as the Y-armed structures of the antibodies are free, then the antigen, okay, whatever this is regarding the host we are saying. Okay, in the host, okay, when the person is exposing to the, okay, when the person exposes to the, and suppose these are about the antigens. Suppose these are the antigens. Okay, the re-exposure, then the antigens attaches to this antibodies. You can see here like this. The antigens attaches to the antibodies. See, the antigen combines with the cell-fixed antibody. Okay, the antibody where they attaches to the cells. What type of cells they are attached? They attaches to the mast cells or the basophil cells. Okay, when the antigen attaches to this antibody, okay, then antigen antibody reactions is taking place here, and this antigen antibody reactions, when they are causes the release of, okay, what they causes, they releases the vasoactive amines, and these vasoactive amines are pharmacologically active substances. What they will cause this chemical reactions. What type of chemical reactions? As we discussed, anaphylaxis, atopy, etc. Okay, this is the principle involved, and whatever the principle I explained, that can be represented in the diagram very clearly. I can show you. First, we can say that in the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, the type of reactions by the type 1 is, the first one is about the anaphylaxis. Okay, under the anaphylaxis, we are saying about anaphylaxis. The anaphylaxis is mediated by the immunoglobulin E antibody and is due to the powerful effects of histamine and other vasoactive amines. Okay, this whatever the principle, that can be clearly understood by the diagram. You can see here. See, whatever these are about the antigens, and this is about the plasma cell. Okay, then see, whenever antigen enters into the host, then the plasma cell, okay, the antigen stimulates the plasma cells to produce the immunoglobulin E, IgE. See, what are IgE? IgE are the antibodies. Okay, IgE antibodies are produced. And whatever these IgE antibodies they were produced, just they bind to the plasma, whatever the plasma cells, or to the mast cells, or what we discussed, mast cells or the basophil cells. How they get attached? See, the antibodies gets attaches here. Okay, see, like this, the antibodies gets attaches to this surface of the mast cell, or also known as the mast cells, or about the basophil cells. Okay, they attaches to the antibodies attaches to the mast cells, or about the basophil cells. They attaches to the, if you remember the structure of the immunoglobulin or antibody, you can see this part is known as, okay, the two arms of this known as the FAB fragment. Okay, FAB, that means about antigen binding fragment, and the lower fragment, this is known as the FC fragment. Okay, okay, the upper part of the antibody is known as FAB and the lower part is known as the FC. Okay, crystalline fragment. Okay, if you, therefore I can say that the antibody attaches to this mast cell or basophil cells with the FC receptor, or we can say that FC fragment attaches to the mast cells or the basophil cell. Therefore antigen, this is about the antigen binding site. The antigen binding site is free now. Okay, as we discussed initially, if the host, okay, immediately then the host cannot shows the chemical reaction. As we discussed, if the host second re-exposure or second exposure to the antigen, then what will happen? See, then initially if antigen enters, it causes the production of antibodies. The re-exposure to the antigen, okay, then whatever the antigens re-expose, that antigens comes and attaches to this antibodies. Okay, see, these are about the antigens and these are about the antibody. Therefore antigen antibody reaction takes place. That's why in the initially we are, as we are defining the hypersensitivity, I told that this is an immune response. So that means antigen antibody reaction taking place, it shows some reaction. Okay, whatever the antigen antibody formation takes place, it causes the release of this antigen antibody reactions is taking place. It causes the degranulation of what? Degranulation of what is this? This is about the mast cell or about the basophil cell. This mast cell or basophil cell get degranulated and it causes the release of vasoactive or the physiologically active agents like histamine or leukotrienes or serotonin or heparin or prostaglandins. Anything can be released. Okay, because of these release of the vasoactive agents or the physiologically active agents, okay, any of these agents, these causes, okay, these histamines, they causes the capillary dilation, and the leukotrienes and the serotonin, heparin, prostaglandins, they causes the either, okay, all these agents individually they have their action. Okay, they have their pharmacological action. The histamines, leukotrienes, serotonin, heparin and prostaglandins, they causes either capillary dilation or increased capillary permeability and the smooth muscle constriction, or they stimulate the mucus secretion and the pain and itching. Okay, all these pharmacological reactions are about the reactions that taking place. Finally it leads to the conditions known as the anaphylaxis, asthma, hay fever, etc. Okay, these are the various reactions that are taking place because of the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, this is about the mechanism is involved, or we can say that this is the principle involved in the hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, that is, this is the mechanism is involved. Like this, the person, the host feels the anaphylaxis, asthma and the hay fever. I think that this principle or about the principle or the mechanism is so clear. We can say that why asthma or how asthma occurs in any person, or the asthma people, how they feel the allergy if they are exposing to the allergens or about some antigens. Okay, other than the anaphylaxis, under the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, this is the mechanism of hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, then we will go about the, under the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, we are having some other type of chemical reactions. We will go with the second one, that is known as the cutaneous anaphylaxis. We know that cutaneous, what is the cutaneous? Cutaneous means skin. Okay, on the skin, if reactions are taking place, if chemical reactions is taking place on the skin, then we can say it as the cutaneous anaphylaxis. Okay, on the skin, what will happen, what type of reaction can be take place means wheel and flare reaction is caused. What is meant by wheel and flare reaction means on the skin you can see like this, a small wheel like structure is formed. Okay, wheel and a flare. Okay, at the center we are having some bulginess. Wheel and flare reaction, that is caused by the hyperemia due to the, okay, what is the mechanism is involved means because of the vasodilation. And this, okay, as I told that these hypersensitivity reactions, they are showing their chemical reaction within minutes. Okay, how many minutes it takes for the cutaneous anaphylaxis means just the reactions occurs in 10 to 30 minutes. That means within half an hour, the host can feel the on the skin, they can feel some rashes like that, red colored rashes, wheel and flare reaction can be seen and fades away in few hours. Okay, they can be faded within the few hours. This is regarding the cutaneous anaphylaxis, which is one of the type of the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Coming to the third one, that is about the Prasnage-Kastner reaction. Prasnage-Kastner reaction, this is a hypersensitivity to certain species of cooked fish. See, we know that some people are sensitized to certain seafoods or about the certain types of fishes also. Okay, in those persons, they causes the wheel and flare reaction only within 20 minutes. Suppose if the person has taken, if the sensitized person, if he or she has taken this, the some species of the cooked fish, immediately on her body or his body, the wheel and flare reactions can be seen within 20 minutes. That type of reaction is known as the Prasnage-Kastner reaction. And another one is known as the passive cutaneous anaphylaxis. Okay, it is somewhat similar to that of the cutaneous anaphylaxis, and this is a sensitive method for the detection of antibodies. Suppose if you want to check the antibodies, whether they are okay for that patient or about to that person, to check the detection of, to check the detection of their working of antibodies, we can inject these antibodies to any person. You can check the wheel and flare reaction. Okay, along with this antibody, we are giving certain Evans blue. This is acting as an indicator. Okay, therefore, what type of reaction can be seen on the body, on the skin? Okay, this is also a skin on the hypersensitivity reactions can be seen on the skin. Okay, but the what type of reaction is a wheel and flare reaction only. But this can be clearly seen because antibodies are given along with an indicator known as the Evans blue. Therefore, whatever the wheel and flare reactions it takes place, it looks like the slightly blue colored. Okay, therefore the wheel and flare reaction can be clearly seen on the skin so that we can detect the antibodies. Coming to the next important one under the type 1 is about the atopy. This is a well-known one, that is about atopy. Atopy meaning is about the familial hypersensitivity. That means we know that hypersensitivity reactions, certain hypersensitivity reactions are genetically, they are carried from the parents to their offsprings or from their the generations. Okay, the familial hypersensitivity, not only from the parents, from their family, if it can be inherited, that is known as the atopy. What type of hypersensitivity it can be carried means either it may be to the that means the persons may sensitize it to the inhalants like the pollen, dust, animal dander, and apart from the inhalants, some are sensitive to the ingestants like the milk, egg, meat, fish. Okay, immediately if they have taken some milk, they're having certain aversion towards the milk and egg. If they're taken immediately, they can have some certain allergy on the skin like that. Okay, and suppose the persons were exposed to these inhalants or ingestants, what will happen? It causes the fever and allergic asthma and also the food allergies. Food allergies, it can be seen on the skin like that. Okay, like this, these are the various types of the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. The first one is about the anaphylaxis, and the second one is about the cutaneous anaphylaxis and the Prasnage-Kastner reaction and passive cutaneous anaphylaxis, and the last one is about the atopy. Okay, these are the various type of reactions comes under the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Then we will go with the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. This type 2 hypersensitivity reaction, it is also known as the cytotoxic hypersensitivity. Okay, it is also known as the cytotoxic hypersensitivity. Because why it is known as cytotoxic means because immunoglobulin M or immunoglobulin G antibody, they directed the cell surface component, they cause the damage or lysis of the affected cell. Suppose whatever the cell is there, okay, it was completely affected, okay, or the lysis of the cell may takes place. That's why it is known as the cytotoxic. The complement, okay, here an important component is taking place, that is known as the complement. Complement can participate in these reactions by affecting the cell lysis or through opsonization of the antibody coated cell. Okay, complement is playing a major role in the damage or about the lysis of the cell. Okay, this complement, how they are, it is acting means a complement, either it causes the cell lysis or it causes the opsonization of the antibody which is coated onto the cell. It can be explained with the diagram and the principle. If you look at the principle is involved, what is the principle is involved in the type 2 hypersensitivity is about the antibodies which are about the immunoglobulin M and immunoglobulin G. First they can bind to the surface of the cell antigens. Okay, cell antigens, and if the antibody immunoglobulin M or immunoglobulin G1, G2, G3, if they are attaches, then it causes the C10, okay, the complement, as we told that complement, okay, whenever there is an combination of, what we are saying that antibody if attaches to the surface of antigen, okay, suppose this is about the antigen, okay, it get attaches to the antibody, okay, and the antigens if present, okay, see the antibodies can bind to the surface of the cell antigen, okay, suppose this is the cell, this is the cell, on the cell it consisting of antigens, okay, when the antibodies binds to this antigen, then immediately whenever there is a formation of antigen antibody complex taking place, then immediately a complement, okay, this is about the complement, okay, or I can go it as, okay, this is about the complement. The complement immediately attaches to this antigen antibody complex. Now it is known as antigen antibody complement complex is formed. Whenever this complement is attaches to this antigen antibody, the complement will causes the lysis of this cell. Whatever the cell is there, the cell is completely get lysed. Okay, that's why you can see either the cell is lysed or opsonization of antibody coated cell. Where is antibody now? Antibody which is coated onto the cell. Okay, now this cell was completely lysed or damaged because of the complement. See, the complement split product facilitates uptake of the entire cell antibody C3b complex by the phagocytic cell. Just it causes the phagocytosis. The complete cell was phagocytized. The antibody coated cell can also lead to the destruction of target cell by the killer cell through antibody dependent cell media toxicity. Okay, it can be clearly explained or about clearly understood by the mechanism along with an example. Okay, we will take, it can be the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction, it can be clearly indicated by an example of the first type of reaction, that is known as the drug induced, okay, the drug induced hemolytic anemia, drug induced immune hemolytic anemia. We are saying that certain drugs are responsible. Normally we are using drugs for the treatment of certain diseases, but sometimes the drugs are having the side effects that the drugs they causes the hemolytic anemia. That means the breakdown of RBC cells. The hemolytic anemia, it can be induced by the administration of what type of drugs they causes the hemolytic anemia means the drugs like penicillin and alpha methyl dopa. Okay, these are the side effects of these two drugs are about they causes the hemolytic anemia. That's why the RBC breakdown is taking place more when we are taking about the penicillin or alpha methyl dopa. Whatever the principle I explained regarding the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction, it can be clearly explained or clearly observed by looking at this diagram. You can see these are about the red blood cells. Okay, see, this is about the red blood cells. On the red blood cells, you can see these are about the antigens. Okay, that means now the cell is coated with the antigens. Okay, now the antibodies, the immunoglobulin G, or we can call that immunoglobulin M. Okay, G1 or G2. Okay, immunoglobulin M, immunoglobulin G1 and immunoglobulin G2, anything. Okay, all these antibodies, any of these antibody, they get attaches to this antigens. You can see here IgG antibody attaches to the cellular antigen. What is this cell? This cell is about the RBC cell. I am explaining this mechanism, how hemolytic anemia is taking place. See, as the RBC cells which are coated with the antigens, okay, now the antibody immunoglobulin G, G1, G2 or M, they get attaches to these antigens, results in the formation of antigen antibody complex. Okay, and the antigen antibody complex, then the complement. Okay, then the complement, we are saying that the complements, whenever the complement get attaches to this antigen antibody complex. Okay, now it is known as the antigen. Okay, this is about the antigen antibody and complement complex is formed. This, whenever this complex is formed, then immediately this complement gets activated and it causes the activation. See, the complement activation, it causes the, immediately the complement will causes the lysis of this cell. How lysis of this cell taking place? The lysis of this cell is taking place because of this phagocytic action. Okay, the lysis of the cells takes place, then immediately the complete RBC cells gets breakdown. It was breaked. Okay, into the small pieces. The breakdown of RBC is taking place. Okay, this is known about the phagocytic cell. Okay, what are these antigens here? The antigens are nothing but the drugs which we are taking, either the penicillin or about the alpha methyl dopa, they get deposited onto the RBC cells. Okay, then whenever the drugs gets deposited onto the RBC cells, now the antigens are here, is about the penicillin or alpha methyl dopa. Whenever the antigens, that is about the penicillin or alpha methyl dopa, if taken for any treatment, they, okay, during the treatment of certain diseases, as acting as the penicillin is acting as an antibiotic, they get deposited onto the cell surface of the RBC. Whenever these drugs gets deposited onto the RBC, then antibodies gets attaches to these. The drugs which are acting as an antigen results in the formation of antigen antibody complex. Whenever the drug with the acting as an antigen antibody complex is formed, then immediately complement gets activated and they get attaches to this complex. Immediately the complement activation results in the phagocytic action of the RBC. Therefore, the RBC cells gets broken down. This is regarding the, thus hemolytic anemia is taking place when we are taking about the penicillin or alpha methyl dopa. The same type of principle. Okay, suppose we are taking about drugs, we are then the example with the penicillin or methyl dopa. Instead of we are here the antigen is about the drugs. Suppose we can take the RH incompatibility. RH incompatibility is also an examples under the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. RH antibodies are the main cause of the hemolytic disease of the newborn, that is known as the well-known, that is known as the erythroblastosis fetalis. This is the well-known process that is about the RH incompatibility. During the first pregnancy, if the mother carries if the mother is RH positive and if the child is about the RH negative, during the first pregnancy, there is no problem with the first child. And during the delivery, when the baby is coming out, the maternal circulation, because the RH negative passes through the maternal circulation, and therefore the mother will produce as the anti-RH factor. If the same mother, if goes for the second pregnancy and if the child is about RH negative, because of the presence of these RH antibodies or about the anti-RH factor, as if the child is about negative, okay, if the child is about the negative, then it causes the maternal circulation, which consisting of anti-RH factor, they enters into the, okay, they passes through the placenta and they enters into the baby and it causes the, see, whatever the IgG anti-RH antibody, they crosses the placenta and attacks the fetal RBCs, whatever the mechanism I explained in the previous one, causing the erythroblastosis fetalis. Like that, the death of the baby is taking place. The second child, there is no problem with the first child. Okay, like this is an example under the RH incompatibility under the type 2 factor. Similarly, the well-known example and another example is about the transfusion reaction. This is also the well-known example or the well-known reaction, that is about when a person receives incompatible blood transfusion. Okay, suppose if the person is about A blood group, if he receives the blood from the B blood group or the vice versa. Okay, if B person receives the A blood group, similarly about the AB. Okay, like that, if any, okay, if other, okay, or incompatible blood transfusion if takes place, then immediately we know that the death of the person will be takes place. What is the reason why the death of the person is taking place? Means because of the mismatching or the incompatible blood transfusion, it leads to the breakdown of RBC cells and causes the fever, jaundice, kidney failure, and finally it leads to the death of the person. Okay, these are the three well-known examples, that is about the drug-induced hemolytic anemia, RH incompatibility, and the transfusion reaction under the type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Then we will move to the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. Under the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction, it is due to the combination of antigen with the circulating antibody. Okay, antigen here it is combining with the circulating antibody. The antigen antibody complex it is formed, known as the immunocomplex is formed. This combination, whatever this antigen antibody complex is formed, they forms the microprecipitate. If it is a type 2, there also antigen antibody reaction is taking place, and they will causes the attachment of complement. Okay, there the principle is involved is about antigen antibody complex. It causes the attachment of the complement to its site, and the complement get activated and the lysis of the RBC is taking place. Whereas the type 3, whenever the immunocomplex is formed, this immunocomplex lead to the formation of microprecipitate. They forms a small precipitates in and around the small blood vessels. Okay, suppose you can see these are about the blood vessels, you can see. Okay, whereas the small blood vessels, if there are, okay, just see whatever the antigen antibody complex, if they forms the microprecipitates. Okay, microprecipitates are formed like this. Okay, they forms the microprecipitates. Where they forms the microprecipitates in and around the small blood vessels. Okay, in and around the small blood vessels, which leads to the, okay, if they get deposited, what will happen? They leads to the inflammation or mechanical blockage of vessels. We know that what is inflammation. Okay, the inflammation is caused because of the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. This occurs because of the formation of microprecipitates of the immunocomplex. Okay, it leads to the inflammation and mechanical blockage of the vessels. And this reaction develop when immune complex activate. This is also the complement system array of the immune receptor molecules. And the tissue damage in this type of reaction is due to the release of the lytic cells. Whereas in the type 2, the phagocytosis is the action taking place. Here the release of the lytic cells is taking place, and therefore it causes the damage of the tissues. We will go with the mechanism of type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. You can see this is about the antigen. Okay, the antigens are attaching with this antibodies. This is about the antibody. You can see here, this is about the antibody. This is antibody. When there is a formation of this antigen and antibody complex, this immune complex, they get deposited onto, see, these are the tissues. Okay, these are the tissues. Okay, on the tissues, see, they get deposited. On the small blood vessels, they get deposited. Whenever the antigen antibody complex are deposited onto any cell, then immediately the complement gets attaches. Okay, similar to that of the type 2. And the difference is about there, the complement, it causes the lysis of this, the RBC cell. Whereas in the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction, whenever the complement, okay, this is about the complement. When the complement attaches to this antigen antibody cell, which were coated onto the microprecipitate of blood vessels, then they causes the platelets and the phagocytes. That is about the tissue damage. Whatever these tissues, they get damaged. Okay, they get damaged, and because and also leads to the inflammation occurs because of the histamine release. Okay, the tissue get damaged if they causes the phagocytic action. Okay, that means suppose if the complement, it can forms, if there is a phagocytosis, it causes the tissue damage. If the inflammation is taking place because of the histamine, suppose if the complement, it activates the histamines, it releases the histamines, it causes the inflammation, or it causes the lysosomal or lytic cells, which causes the breakdown of these tissues or about the microprecipitates of the blood vessels. This is regarding the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. The principle are about the mechanism. We will go with the type of reactions. Okay, the type of reactions under the type 3 are about the Arthus or localized reaction, and the second one is about the serum sickness. If you look at the first one, when rabbits were repeatedly injected subcutaneously with a normal horse serum. Okay, we are taking about a rabbit. Suppose think that this is the rabbit. To the rabbit, what we are injecting? We are injecting subcutaneously. That means we are injecting to the skin. What we are injecting? If we are injecting to the horse serum. Okay, the horse serum if we are injecting. Okay, the initial injections are without any local effect. When we are giving initially, there is no effect on the skin or about the localized action. But with the later injections, if we are continuously giving the injections of the horse serum to the rabbit, there occurred intense local reaction consisting of edema and hemorrhagic necrosis on the localized. That means wherever we are injecting the injection, okay, that the site of injection, there occurs the edema is taking place and also the hemorrhagic necrosis. That means the damage of the tissues are taking place at this region. Okay, that type of reaction is known as Arthus reaction, or also known as it is the reaction is taking place only at the site of injection or at the local place or a localized. That means at one place only if the reaction is taking place. Hence, it is known as the localized reaction. Okay. And coming to the second type of reaction, that is known as the serum sickness. The serum sickness is also the well-known one. Serum sickness. Okay, that means sickness occurs. What type of sickness? Mostly about the fever. Okay, we know that suppose if the children or the children, if you are taking for vaccination, during the vaccination, like the vaccines like the DPT vaccine or about the certain vaccines, if they are given, it causes the fever. Okay, you can see it develops the serum sickness. It develops in the normal human beings who receive a single injection of bovine or horse antitoxin. What is about the antitoxin? Antitoxin is a serum. Okay, anti-serum. Okay, against the when we are giving the against what type of antitoxins we are injecting to the human beings, like we are taking DPT. Okay, as I gave the example of the DPT vaccine. Okay, DPT is a combined vaccine. It consisting of three. Okay, diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. Okay, like the DPT, etc. Okay, tetanus and gas gangrene, rabies, diphtheria toxins for prophylactically or therapeutic purpose. What is meant by prophylactically? Prophylactically means before the attack of disease, if given. Those are about the prophylactically. The example is about the vaccines. Okay, vaccines are prophylactically given. That means before the attack of disease we are giving, those are known as vaccines. Or okay, this whatever these antitoxins which we are I gave the example tetanus, gas gangrene, rabies, diphtheria, they may given either prophylactically or therapeutic purpose. Therapeutic means after the attack of the disease, if we are giving, that is about for the treatment if we are giving. Okay, either prophylactically or we can use or for the therapeutic purposes. Then what it takes place? Okay, suppose if we are giving the antitoxins, the horse antitoxin. Okay, if you are giving the horse antitoxin, which consisting of either the tetanus or gas gangrene or rabies or diphtheria, they causes the fever or lymphadenopathy or arthritis, endocarditis, abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting. Okay, all these are the conditions. Those are known as the serum sickness. But these are so that we can say that. So okay, doctors. That's why see doctors will say that if fever, don't get panic if fever comes when we are given with the vaccination of DPT. If fever comes means okay, the person is immune and the person is immunized and he is sensitized with the vaccine. Okay, that's why we can say the vaccine is working. Simply we can say like that. These are the two reactions that are comes under the type 3. Okay, type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. Arthus reaction. Okay, Arthus, this is not Arthurus. Okay, Arthus, or it is also known as the localized reaction, and the second one is about the serum sickness. Then we will move to the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. It is also known as the delayed one. Initially during the classification, as I explained that because of the why it is known as the delayed hypersensitivity, because the signs of reactions are observed very delayed. It takes so much time. If you look at the type 1, just within 30 minutes you can observe the action. Okay, That's why it is known as the immediate type of hypersensitivity reaction. Whereas the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction, it takes nearly 1 day, 24 hours or more sometimes also, after contact with the antigen. Okay, if you look at the type 1, type 2, type 3, immediately they will give the localized reactions or about the wheel and flare reaction, whatever it may be, the type 1, type 2 and type 3. Whereas the type 4, it takes more time to show. How much time means? It may be the 1 day or more than 1 day after contact with the antigen. It is mediated by, okay, this type 2, if you look at the type 1 and type 1, it is mediated by the immunoglobulin G, whereas the type 2, it is mediated by immunoglobulin G and M. Like that, type 4 hypersensitivity reactions, they are mediated by the T lymphocytes and macrophages. Just keep in mind this, the T4 hypersensitivity reactions are mediated by T lymphocytes and macrophages. Whereas the T lymphocytes are sensitized prior contact with the antigen, become activated. Okay, just to see, whenever antigen enters, suppose see this is the person. Okay, when the person is exposed to the antigens, immediately the person will produce as what they will produce as, the body will produce as the T lymphocytes. Okay, immediately the antibodies are not produced or about. Okay, whenever to the first exposure to the first exposure of the host to the antigen, then it causes the activation of T lymphocytes, and upon the re-exposure to the antigen, they produces the soluble mediators known as, okay, again if the host exposes to the second re-exposure to the antigen, then these T lymphocytes will produce these lymphokines. Okay, just see the mechanism of type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. See, the first exposure of this antigen, it causes the macrophages. Okay, it activates the macrophages and it produces the lymphokines, and the lymphokines, when further activated with the further re-exposed, okay, if again they get re-exposed to the antigens, it causes the release of the lymphokines. These lymphokines, whatever these lymphokines they get released, they causes the inflammatory action, and finally they leads to the chemical conditions known as eczema, swelling and granulomatous lesions. Okay, these are the chemical changes that taking place under the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. We will go in detail with the type of reactions. These are about the 3 types. That is about the first one, contact dermatitis. Okay, and here you can see is about, it takes, as it is a delayed one, it takes nearly 2 to 3 days, 48 to 74 hours. The clinical appearance is about the eczema, and this is about the histology. Whatever the lymphocytes are followed by the macrophages, and finally edema of epidermis, and it causes the epidermal chemicals. Okay, what are the antigens here? Okay, antigens, what type of antigens causes the contact dermatitis means, see, some people are very sensitized to the certain chemicals or poison ivy or some heavy metals. Okay, if any person was exposed to the sensitized person, if exposed to the heavy metals, okay, all these are acting as an antigen. Okay, when they suppose this is the person is there, suppose he is the person, suppose if this person is exposed to any of these chemicals, then immediately these are acting as an antigens, and then antigens, what they will do, then the antigens will stimulate these lymphocytes. First they will stimulate the lymphocytes, followed by the macrophages, and finally it leads to the edema of epidermis, and finally what finally results in the eczema. Okay, immediately will it shows? No, it takes for this showing all these actions up to the eczema, it takes how much time? It takes 48 to 72 hours, that is 2 to 3 days. This is about the first type of chemical reaction. Coming to the second one is about the tuberculin. It also occurs 48 to 72 hours. This is also the local duration, and this is occurs to the when the antigen is about the tuberculin or lepromin. If it is given, it is also activate the same type lymphocytes, monocytes and macrophages, and it causes the localized reaction on the skin after 2 to 3 hours. And the third type of reaction is known as the granuloma. It takes nearly 1 month, you can see 21 to 28 days. The hardening of, okay, the granuloma, this type of occurs, the reaction is taking place because of the hardening, okay, where it takes place when the persistent antigen or foreign body presence like the tuberculosis or leprosy, okay, they causes the formation or activation of macrophages, epithelioid, giant cells, or the fibrosis. They causes these. What are these? Whatever these persistent antigen enters, they causes the hardening and forms the granuloma. Okay, in this, for this overall reaction, it takes place nearly 21 to 28 days. This is regarding the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Coming about the type 5 hypersensitivity reaction, it is an antibody mediated hypersensitivity. Okay, it is occurs because of the, okay, or we can say that it is not mediated by any immunoglobulin or anything. It is mediated by the antibody. Okay, and when the antibody reacts with the key surface component such as hormone receptor, you can see this is about the antibody. When the antibody reacts with the hormone receptor, suppose this is about the hormone receptor is there. When this antibody attaches to this hormone receptor, then this antibody, it will causes the hormones. What are the hormones action? Whenever the body needs, then only they will switch on and they will causes the release of the hormones. Okay, when there is no need, just they will switch off the release of the hormones. But whenever these antibodies in our body, sometimes the antibody, how can you say it is an antibody mediated hypersensitivity? Means the antibodies, when it attaches to the hormone receptor cells, they get activates these hormones. Okay, if there is no need also, they release just the hormones. That means they switch on these hormone receptor cells. It causes the release of the hormones. Therefore, elevated levels of the hormones is taking place. It leads to the diseases. The best example is about the thyroid. Okay, the thyroid is the, it causes because of the thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay, this is about the thyroid stimulating hormone. When the antibody attaches to this thyroid stimulating hormone, okay, unnecessarily, or if they, when there is no need also, the receptors gets activated and they causes the release of, what is the hormone release? The hormone released is known as the thyroxine. Okay, when there is an increase in the thyroxine levels in our body, it causes the disease known as the thyroid. Okay, like that. This is about, okay, who started this, who causes this disease of the thyroid? This antibody. Therefore, we can say that hypersensitivity reaction, this is mediated by the antibody. Hence, we can say that it is an antibody mediated hypersensitivity. This type of disease, the example is known as the Graves disease. The Graves disease, thyroid hypersensitivity, the Graves disease due to the thyroid stimulating antibody. See, the thyroid stimulating hormone from the pituitary gland get attached to the thyroid cell receptor, gets activates adenyl cyclase in the membrane. It converts ATP to AMP and it stimulates the activity of thyroid cells, thus secreting. Okay, what it is secreting? It is secreting the thyroxine. Okay, because of the increase in the levels of the thyroxine, it leads to the thyroid disease. Okay, this is regarding the type 5 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, these are the various figures of the type 1, type 2, type 3 and the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. I hope so. This is the well known and this is the comparison of the different types of hypersensitivity reactions, the characteristics and the type 1, type 2, type 3 and the type 4. And this is about the antibodies. See, the type 1 is mediated by the immunoglobulin E, whereas the 2 is mediated by G and M. 3 is also mediated by the G and M, whereas the type 4 is not mediated by anything. Just it causes the release by the antigens, which causes the activation of the macrophages, causes the release of the lymphocytes. It's not mediated by anything. Whereas the type 1, type 2 and type 3, as they are occurring within the minutes or within one day, hence these are known as the immediate one. Whereas the type 4, as it takes so much time, hence it is known as the delayed one. During the type 1, wheel and flare reaction occur, necrosis occurs and edema occurs. Whereas in the type 4, erythema are about the induration. Okay, these are the various type of cells to which antigens gets attaches here. And finally, when the antigens gets attaches to the cells, antibodies are released in the type 1, type 2 and type 3, whereas the T cells gets activated in the type 4. And the examples you can see: anaphylaxis, asthma, hay fever, cutaneous and atopy, all these are the examples in the type 1. Whereas under the type 2, we have seen erythroblastus fetalis and hemolytic anemia and the transfusion reactions. Whereas under the type 3, if you remember, Arthur's reaction and the serum sickness. Whereas under the type 4, tuberculin and granuloma, all these are the, and contact dermatitis. These are the various reactions or the examples under the type 4 type, all the different types of hypersensitivity reactions. This is the overall comparison table of the hypersensitivity reactions. I hope so. This is well understood by you. Just go through the topic once again so that you have a better idea on the hypersensitivity reactions.